We'll start off with the Atlanta Braves. Last season, the Braves finished up with 97 wins. Vegas win total was at 86. The Pathag says that they only should have had 91 wins, so they had overachieved by 6 games. Atlanta right now sits at 90.5 wins. Sean, your projection is at 89. Other projection systems come in much lower than you and much lower than the 90.5 that's currently listed at the Westgate.
Yeah, this is a team that's kind of been hated on for the past few years. I actually bet they're under last year because everybody was pretty much pointing to them at around 85 wins when their total was up over 88, 90. So interesting. Just because I don't know what it is about the Braves that everybody's missing the mark on in terms of their projection. They have a bunch of generational talents with Acuna and Albies and Freddie Freeman. They have a ton of young pitching prospects and young pitchers who could develop into something nice. Obviously, they lost Josh Donaldson in the offseason. It's a big loss. He was great on both sides of the ball last year. Dallas Keuchel didn't really give them much. Julio Teheran was there for a while, always a bit enigmatic, but they made some nice additions, adding Will Smith to their bullpen, Marcell Ozuna to the lineup. They can slide Austin Riley down to third base probably, split time with Johan Camargo. The real question is who's going to emerge from their group of young pitchers to fill out the bottom of the rotation, and can they upgrade or can they get their third base spots and shortstop to improve? Dansby Swanson has kind of been a below average defender, which defense was supposed to be his carrying card when they got rid of Andrelton Simmons. So this is year 3. Can he become a league average hitter maybe at least? Remains to be seen. Austin Riley was a prospect who really impressed me 2 years ago. His contact has kind of gone out the window, but I think no matter who takes the job between him and Camargo, those guys could hit 25 home runs over the course of a full season.
Cole Hamels is already hurt, though, right? Let's talk about the
Cole
pitching
Hamels
staff.
is already hurt. I mean, it just adds into their rotation depth when he does come back, though. They've really turned their bullpen from a deficit into a strength, and I think you could say the same thing about the Nationals, who we'll get to in a moment. They've added Corbin Martin, Green, Will Smith, Mark Melanson, all in the past year. Really filled out that bullpen. They have some nice outfield prospects and depth outfielders like Edgar Inciarte just on their bench who can give them extra playing time. So it's a deep team. The more I look at this team, the more I like it. I can't envision myself taking an under on this team. I think it's pretty close at the top between the Braves, Nats, and Mets. So any of these 3 can win the division. I wouldn't be surprised if the Braves won 95 games again.
Yeah, they definitely have the offensive talent to do that. I know that I was looking here at park factors of what we've seen out of Cumberland the last couple of years, and it seems like not a big home run park. They were opened up at 27th in the league in home runs, and they jacked up to 15th last year, but that probably can be attributed to what they have offensive firepower-wise. And so it does seem to be more of a doubles park than it does a home run park. I think getting anything out of Dansby Swanson would be nice. Markakis has been steady and consistent. Speaking about how old some players are, I think Markakis feels like he's been around forever. Addition of Marcell Ozuna just makes this offense. So other than that, is there anything that we need to be paying attention to, say fantasy-wise or, depth of their rotation-wise, or, are there prospects that could be on the move for Chris Bryant? What do you think is going to the direction of this team?
Yeah, so if they trade for Bryant, the Cubs would certainly want to reload with young pitching. So they have yet another Anderson. I don't know if people are aware, but there's about 15 guys named Anderson who are pitchers in Major League Baseball. I actually made an infographic last year so we could differentiate amongst all of them. So Ian Anderson will be added to that shortly, but he's a nice prospect with a bunch of different pitches. Just needs to work on his command. Bryce Wilson came up last year. Doesn't really have much secondary stuff, but he's an interesting prospect. Kyle Wright's probably my favorite of the 3. He's yet another Vandy pitcher, yet another Vandy college baseball player making his way to the big leagues. He's got a really nice delivery. He's got 2 breaking balls. His slider's really nice. Again, another guy who needs to work on refining his command a little bit. But the Braves have a bunch of young arms. Tuki Toussaint you can throw in there as well, who the Cubs might be interested in. And if not, I think they're going to find ways to stick them in their bullpen and the bottom of their rotation to make use of them throughout the season. I actually really like the way that, Fultonavich and other guys came on for the Braves over the course of the year. That's part of the reason why I like them to maybe surpass their win total even, just because their younger pitching seemed to click towards the end of the year.
Yeah, we mentioned Vandy pitchers here. Kumar Rocker won't be playing this year, but he will be next year. So that'd be yet another Vandy pitcher that'll be in there for everybody. But I do like this team. I think 90.5 is maybe a little bit high. I would like to see it. I think they can absolutely win the division, and they can give the Nats a lot of trouble. But for me, it's going to be a no play. Do you have any play on the Braves futures
Yeah,
or win
no play
total?
on the Braves for me.